Have you ever felt the sting of unfair words? What if the greatest power you have is the one you choose not to use in those moments? In this village lived a man named Anand. He was known not for his wealth or status, but for his unshakable peace. One day, a bag of grain, the village's collective property for the needy, was found torn and empty. Panic quickly turned to suspicion, and a poisonous rumor began to take root, whispered from one ear to another. Like a spark on dry grass, the rumor spread, and the peaceful village air grew thick with tension. Anand, sensing the shift in the air, stepped outside, ready to greet the day as he always did. The first stone was cast not with a hand, but with a word, a single, sharp accusation. Then more voices joined, a chorus of anger directed at one silent man. They shouted, they accused, they demanded a reaction. But Anand gave them nothing. No defense, no denial, no anger. He simply stood, and he listened. His silence was a mirror. In it, the villagers saw not a guilty man, but the reflection of their own rage. Slowly, the noise faded. The anger, without a target to fuel it, began to starve. And then, at the edge of the village, the truth appeared, not in a confession, but in a simple sight. The grain hasn't been stolen by a man, but taken by nature. The real culprits were revealed. A wave of shame washed over the crowd, heavier and more painful than their anger had ever been. The weight of their mistake was heavy. They had condemned an innocent man without a single shred of proof. And in his eyes, they found no victory, no judgment, only a gentle, unwavering compassion that was more disarming than any defense. The man who had shouted the loudest was the first to apologize, his pride replaced by deep regret. He asked, "Anand, we threw insults at you like stones. Why did you not throw them back? Why did you not react?" Anand smiled gently and looked at the faces around him, each one waiting for his answer. The lesson was about to be revealed. He said, "If someone comes to you with a gift and you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The villager replied, "It belongs to the one who tried to give it." The simplicity of the truth began to dawn on them. "Exactly," said Anand. "The same is true of your anger, your insults, and your judgment. You offered them to me, but I chose not to accept them." If this story is providing you with a new perspective, consider subscribing to share in more wisdom. A profound silence fell over the village. It was the silence of a lesson learned deep within the heart. Their anger was a stone thrown into the water of his peace. It caused a ripple, but it could not change the nature of the water. From that day forward, something in the village changed. They learned to question their anger before expressing it. They learned that true strength wasn't in the volume of your voice, but in the quiet control of your spirit. The poison of blame was replaced by the balm of understanding, and the village began to heal. Remember, the anger of others only has power over you if you accept it as your own. You always have a choice. Choose peace. Choose not to react. For in that space between action and reaction lies your freedom.